Hello, everybody, and welcome to B through Z. We are currently broadcasting from Under the Sea. I'm your bestest host, Robbie, aka Zilrog.
And I'm your hosty host, Adam, aka Crazy Ho.
The craziest of all the hoes. We're here to fill your skulls with as much nerdy shit as we can for the next about an hour. We've got a very naughty show for you today, so stay tuned. But first, we got some presses that are pressing for our attention, don't we, Adam?
Gaming news! B through Z, your source for all things you need to know, as long as you only care about the stuff we care about.
Well put, well put. So we've got a lot of gaming news for you this week, and it's obviously always good, you know, to hear about new games, to hear new things about games. I just love them, Adam. I just love them.
It's like little tidbits you can munch on, you know?
Exactly. We are like Girl Scout cookies of news. It's great. So a new game was announced this week by Obsidian, the game makers behind Neverwinter Nights, City Skyline, Pillars of Eternity, and what's the other one? Oh yeah, Fallout New Freaking Vegas, if I remember correctly.
What?
Yeah, and so they announced an RPG called Tyranny, and it's an isometric, story-rich, classic-seeming RPG, and I mean, we know the group is good for that because of its track record. Yeah. So just making another one and continuing to bring this type of game, continuing to push forward this type of game that's like, some would say is an outdated model, but still make these great games is really awesome to see. It looks like you're a bad guy this time too, which is kind of cool. Like you don't normally, I mean, you normally have those choices of morality, but playing directly from the bad side is, I don't know, that'd be kind of interesting.
That would be cool. Like, you get to be a supervillain or something?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is.
Do you actually have, like, a rival?
They didn't release a ton of news on it yet.
Like, do you play as Gary to Ash?
This is my...
Why does this guy keep beating me?
Because he chooses the opposite Pokemon of you that's better than yours. It's totally unfair. Other than that, we've got some news in regards to Blizzard. The, Activision Blizzard. The guys who make, like...
I don't think I've heard of this company before.
Yeah, they're behind some really good classics like The Lost Vikings, and
didn't they put out a console game at one point? It was like a really crappy RTS game or something.
I think they made
like Ghost.
That. Oh no, they wanted to make that, but that never happened.
Oh.
Yeah. But so they only have the Lost Vikings behind them, and then the failed Ghost. Oh yeah, and all the Diablos, and all the Warcrafts, and Hearthstone, and Overwatch. Yeah, they're a pretty big deal. So, there was some news that they're, but
sorry,
I don't know what you're laughing about.
Keep going.
Alright. There's some new updates to Diablo 2 and Warcraft 3. Both games I used to play when I was in elementary school. So they're very old games. So everyone's making a pretty big deal about it. What were you going to say?
Have you looked at the patch notes for it yet? What are they adding?
Yes, I have. They're not adding anything right now. But there's a lot of talk that they're going to be adding stuff because what these updates were compatibility updates with new operating systems. So they're making it so that it's easier to play these on whatever new operating system you have because a lot of people still play Diablo 2 and a lot of people still play Warcraft 3. So it's pretty exciting. To hear that they made compatibility for it, because I know every once in a while I go back to Warcraft 3 and play some custom games.
Oh god, that's where Dota came from.
Yeah, that's where MOBAs came from. League of Legends, one of the biggest, I'd argue to say the biggest esports game, started as a custom game, essentially from Warcraft 3. So, it's pretty cool. I don't know, it's pretty cool thinking about that. Since they added the compatibility, there's a lot of whispers about possible new updates to the games. So we'll see. I've wanted a new Warcraft, not World of Warcraft, but a new Warcraft in general for a really long time. But they've got StarCraft 2 and stuff, so it's kind of, I don't know. I don't know if they feel the need to do another Warcraft.
Gotcha.
So I just wanted to put in a small, I told you so moment from us here at B through The Division, which I've been talking about for the past few weeks, and I mentioned last week that it got slammed by reviews on Steam because of a shitty launch. And
and that launch was so shitty.
Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't play for 20 minutes, Robbie. I spent money on this game. I want to be able to play it for those 20 minutes. I demand a refund.
Yeah, it was exactly. So very well put. The Division is up to a 73% positive rating on Steam. So I'm just saying, as gamers, we shouldn't be so childish and quick to judge when it comes to reviewing games, especially when it's just like you're reviewing it based on the immediate launch. Like I said, those reviews were 0.4 hours, 0.5 hours, and it had nothing to do with gameplay, just the fact that the servers were down. It was like they were like making forum posts, and it destroyed the reviews. I mean, but like I said, it's back up to another positive rating, so saw this coming. So I'm just tossing that out there, I guess.
That's good that they're coming back. But
Yeah.
I can't believe you just called me childish, Robbie. I'm going to be salty about that for the rest of the podcast.
Are you going to go on forums and yell at me?
I am. I'm gonna
All right, that's a perfect
fuck you
place
up
to
with
do
my
it.
Navy SEAL contacts.
I graduated from top of my class in Navy SEALs, motherfucker.
5 out of 7, perfect.
All right, so wait, what is that from? Was that wasn't that guy's review system?
Yeah.
I give it a 5 out of 7 for perfect or something like that.
That girl's so hot, I give her a 5 out of 7.
That's so good. Okay, so following that up, we have some new news on Doom, the new Doom game. Have you looked into this at all, Adam? Have
Oh
you
my
seen
god,
this?
I have. It looks so just absolutely mind-melting.
Yes.
It looks so much fun.
Yes. And I'm a huge fan of horror movies. So games that are really gory, such as Mortal Kombat, who very recently kind of caught on that its fan base who love the goriness of Mortal Kombat probably also like horror movies, so they added a bunch of horror movie characters to the game.
Oh, shit.
Which was a really good idea by Mortal Kombat. I just want to throw that out there. It's like they really finally figured out that their audience...
I didn't even know this.
Yeah, they added the Xenomorph from Alien. They added Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Jason from Friday the 13th. And I think that's the 3 that they add right now.
So, I'm sorry to derail this, but is that for PC?
I believe it's out for PC, yeah.
Oh, fuck. I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah, they added the XL edition. And I was thinking about getting it, but like I didn't think I'd have any friends that want to play it too. So it's like, it didn't make me want to get it. But I've played the Mortal Kombat games for a long time, and I'm really glad to see that they finally figured out that their audience probably likes gory, scary movies as well. And so, anyways, Doom has also changed up the way that it's been going. The Doom 3, I believe, was the most recent game behind this one, and it was violent and gory, but it was more of a scary game. If you've watched this Doom trailer, it is not scary. The only thing scary is how fucking brutal it is to kill demons in this game. That's the only that's the scariest part. And I've just been stupidly stoked about this game since I heard about it. And I know it's dumb, like it's just gonna be over the top, but it's also it's gonna be gorgeous. So it's gonna be like very
seriously.
well done over the top, But they announced some more stuff about the multiplayer, and it looks like a 100 times more gory and brutal version of Halo 3. So I loved Halo 3.
Blood Gulch is going to earn its name this time, damn it.
Exactly. Like I was watching it, and some of the takedowns that you can do on other players are just like these badass wrestling moves, and you can become a demon at some point and literally pick up another player and bite their head off and then throw their lifeless body to the side.
God.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god. And so, and then the parts where you're actually shooting and shit, it looks a lot like Halo 3. So that just looks
I could
awesome.
imagine those animations happening to me over and over and over again, and I'll just be like, all right, fuck it. I guess I'm just watching a movie of my character getting his head ripped off over and over and over again. I suck at this game and I quit.
Exactly. And it's cool because
I can't wait.
it looks so like simplistic, like old school simplistic. You're just kind of running around in this arena. There's no As far as I know, there's no scoping in. You just find the weapons around the arena. There's no loadouts or anything like that. It's just classic good shit. So I'm pretty excited for that one. And I think one of the things that this game's going to do really well is in the regular game, it pits you against literal demons and gives you like amazing over-the-top ways to kill them. And I think the important thing about that is, since like for people who really feel games and like when they're playing them, they actually have feeling behind them. They're not video game sociopaths. Like sometimes it feels bad when you kill somebody who doesn't deserve it in a game. Like in Skyrim, sometimes it feels bad if you kill the wrong person, or like any of the Elder Scrolls games or Fallout games, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's part of the gameplay, though, because you're like supposed to be making moral choices and shit, right?
Exactly, in those games. So it's like, it makes you feel bad behind stuff like that. But in this game, they're pitting you against manifestations of evil. Like, truly.
So there's no reason to feel remorse.
Exactly.
Blowing these guys' brains out.
The fact that you're just
what about that demon's
horribly
family,
murdering them.
Robbie?
I
That
think-
demon has 3 kids at home he needs to feed.
I
He killed
think
his
that'll be
wife in
fine.
the past episode.
I don't.
Fucked up, man.
I don't feel bad at all.
They're just trying to survive down here.
They're
in hell.
trying to
it's
kill
not as
me.
easy as it looks.
It's probably not that fun to survive in hell. I believe that. But I think that's a pretty cool thing about the game, is that it's really going to let you go over the top with it and not feel bad and not feel like ridiculous about it at all. After that, we have some Rocket League news, which I feel like I'm talking about every single week, but I love the shit out of it.
Rocket League, it's on the tip of everyone's tongue right now.
They're always
We're just
doing new
plucking
shit.
people's tongues and just putting them in our own. God, why do I say these things?
Just plucking people's tongues.
Fuck it, continue on. Rocket
All
League.
right. So Rocket League announced completely full cross-platform play. So so this is behind like a bigger announcement. Xbox was like, all right, we're finally going to do cross-platform play with PC users, and we are completely willing to do cross-platform play with PS4 with Sony. But Sony is thinking about whether or not it's going to be lucrative for them, so they haven't decided if they're going to do it yet. And that's a huge thing right there.
Yeah, it
Like, if that will end the whole, you meet a new friend and you're like, hey, what do you play video games on? They're like, a PS4, and you're like, I play on PC. Fuck. Not and like, or vice versa. They have an Xbox One and you have a PS4. There's nothing you can do about that. If Sony decides that they want to do this, there can be like cross-platform play for everybody, which would just be so awesome. That would be such a huge step forward in the gaming community. And so right now, Rocket League will be the first game to do this, and it's going to be Xbox One's going to be able to connect with PC users, but not with PS4 users. So right now, the only
It's like missing a link in this triangle.
yeah, exactly.
We've got a carrot, not a triangle.
Yeah, and at the
A
tip
less
of the
than
carrot,
PC Master Race!
Oh yeah, we got Steam. You guys don't get summer sales like we do.
exactly. They also don't get the shitty early access games that we get. So
Come on, Sony. Let's make the internet open again. All right.
Let's make the internet great again. I think it's like really cool though. Like that's a huge announcement. And hopefully, if they're gonna let Xbox One users play with PC users, they will bring the Warthog that they have on the Xbox One exclusive game. They'll bring it to PC because I want to play that with that Warthog really bad.
Imagine being the developers of Rocket League right now. They're like, holy shit, we just changed history with a game about cars and soccer.
Exactly. Like one of the most simple games ever made. And it's just like,
Causing a rift.
I know, it is making such big waves in
Speaking
all
of the
gaming.
rift. No, I'm kidding.
So I see the next game is more of your type of game, Adam. So why
Oh,
don't you
God.
tell me about this what is that called? Dirte Rally?
Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it.
All right.
Yeah, Dirte. It's got an E at the end. No, it's just Dirt Rally. And it's a game made by Codemasters. If you played Dirt 3 or higher, this isn't the same game at all. 'Cause Dirt 3 and higher were kind of arcadey, especially the one that came after Dirt 3, was like Smashdown or something like that, where it was like literally just ramming cars into each other. It
Oh,
was
it's
awesome.
like Burnout.
Yeah, you're just trying to get the most ridiculous crashes and skids and shit. It's sweet.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty
this
cool.
this is a really fun like rally racing sim, and they're really aiming for realistic simulation as much as
Okay.
possible. So there's no like ghost racing or anything, which is when one person or two people can start at the same time, but they can't interact with each other.
Oh,
They
okay.
can't ram each other off the road. They're not including that because they want it to be like
They want people to ram each
as
other off the road.
close. Yeah, exactly. They want it to be as close to real racing, especially rally racing, as possible. The reason why I'm talking about this is because they're getting a release on consoles in April 5th. It's it's such a fun game. They started out on PC as like an early launch title, and you could buy it for $35.
35 bucks.
35, and they've just been releasing content after content after content, so it is worth the $60 that it costs now for sure.
Yeah.
But I bought it when it was 35, and
Ooh, look at you.
it's awesome.
One
I
of
feel
those-
like such a good person for investing in this company, and now they're giving it back, you know.
Yeah. It's like one of those rare times where you invested in early access and it actually like, turned out to
Paid
be
off.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done a few of those, like rarely, like Ark Survival Evolved. That one is actually following through with things. It still needs a lot of touching up, but
Didn't they just announce they're releasing something for free too?
yeah, it's the Survival of the Fittest. It's basically Hunger Games in a with a bunch of dinosaurs.
Oh, sick.
Pretty much what everybody wants to have in the Hunger Games.
Holy
I mean, could you imagine that? Like, rated R version of the Hunger Games, Jennifer Lawrence riding on a fucking T-Rex, like, sniping people with a bow.
dude,
I would
fuck
love
that.
it.
I want to see her on a raptor.
Put her on a raptor and, like, one of those just, like the cave woman outfits, where it's
Get
just,
Chris
like...
Pratt involved in this.
Exactly. He's...
Blockbuster.
Oh, man, we just... The Jurassic Hunger Games world.
Jurassic Hunger.
Jurassic Hunger. And it's Chris Pratt with all of his raptors and Jennifer Lawrence, and they're like just like charging around murdering
All in
everybody.
high heels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because that's what that girl does in Jurassic World. Huh?
Yep. I just want to see Chris Pratt in high heels.
Yeah, with that mustache. Just,
All right, so yeah, Dirt Rally. I recommend it, especially if you're going to be a console gamer, because it's pretty cool. An interesting thing happened this last week in
Oh.
the MMO world.
What? What was that, Adam? What happened?
There's whispers of, in the corners of the internet, of an EverQuest MMO.
I hear whispers
And
in
it was
the wind. You're like traveling through a dark town at night, and like some of the lights are out, and there's just people with their coats. Like, I hear whispers in the wind of a new EverQuest.
But then EverQuest creators come in and they're like, nah, it's canceled. They
So wait,
put
so
the
there was
kibosh
a
on
new. I didn't actually hear about this. There was a new EverQuest MMO, and then it got canceled.
Yeah. So like EverQuest 2 came out, and then there was been expansion packs or whatever. I didn't really follow that too much. And then all of a sudden I hear like pop-ups and rumors of EverQuest Next. And then they did this thing where they wanted users to try and help create the game. So I forget what they called
Oh.
it, but they like let people test the game, and as they were playing it, you got these like level creation tools
Uh-huh.
where you could modify the terrain, and if the developers liked it, they would include it in the game. And then
Huh.
you could even like get monetary
You could make money off of it.
yeah, you can make money off of it. Fucking stupid smart words confusing me.
You can make monetary quizzicality off of it.
Quizzicality.
I don't know what that. I just made that up. You can use it. It's fine. Put it on a
I
shirt.
will use it.
Monetary quizzicality.
Monetary quizzicality was not enough though, because the game is done.
Oh.
They came out and said, which is a shame because it looked pretty cool. They had like
Kaput.
gameplay footage of it where it was like this kind of like action oriented MMO. You know how
Yeah.
a lot of MMOs are going now. They're trying to break up the stand still and button mash. Move,
Yeah.
Find another creep, stand still, button mash esque type gameplay.
Yes.
So it was a cool looking game, but they just like had promise after promise after promise, and I think they kind of crumbled underneath their own weight.
Uh-huh.
Which like brings us to another point, like what's going on in the MMO world?
Oh, the MMO world is a terrifying place right now. It's just so
Stagnating
chock
hardcore.
full of free-to-play shit games,
Yeah.
and just it is so oversaturated right now. It's so
All
hard.
the same, it feels like too.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got the big ones that try to come out and make WoW clones, which is, I mean, something you can obviously expect all the time because WoW did so well.
Yeah.
But then, or they try to make a WoW clone, but then, add their own twist to it. One little twist or something like that. Like
You can dodge roll
WildStar.
in this one.
Yeah, like WildStar. You can aim the abilities and you can dodge roll, but guess what? The quests are boring. The map system is exactly the same. You get on your mount, you go from one quest giver to the next, you go and kill things, you go collect things, you bring it all back, whatever. And then you've got some of the other bigger ones, Blade and Soul, Terra,
Yeah.
those action-y ones where you have to aim everything, and they're kind of cool, but it just feels like there's something missing when you're playing them. I don't know what it
played
is.
Terra for a bit, and it just seemed like I mean, it was really fun at the start because the combat's really cool,
Yeah.
but it's so much grinding because it's a JRPG, right? It's like
Yeah.
a Japanese MMO or a Korean MMO or something.
Yeah. It's
Not to offend
very
those guys.
grindy. I mean, no, it is. It's very grindy, and I mean that's the thing about a lot of MMOs, and it gets old. As someone like myself who's played so many fucking MMOs, it gets old. So, what I need to see in the gaming world is a MMO come out that was like this MMO called Arcade that came out a couple of months back. It came out in America, but it's been out somewhere else in the world for a while. I don't know exactly where it was, but I don't.
I think that
wanna-
was another Korean one that
Yeah.
NCSoft brought over. They localized for American audiences.
I believe it was NCSoft, yes, and it had so much freedom in that game, and that is, I mean, you had the two factions, but you could also play outside of the faction in between both. You could be a pirate where you kill both factions. Or you could turn on bloodlust mode and just kill somebody who was on your faction, like if they pissed you off. And like you might get a bounty, but I don't know. It was, and you could like sail the seas, and you could play the game as a trader. Not like a trader, like stabbed you in the back, but like you trade shit, like you trade goods.
Oh, okay. Like a merchant kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly. You could literally play as like you could craft stuff and then carry it around to make money, like carry it from different zones to make money.
So it was like a hybrid sandbox MMO, right? 'Cause
Exactly.
I remember playing it too, and I loved the crafting in it. It was so cool. You could just go to your city and set down a dock and start building your
Yeah.
ships and stuff, and you build these crazy ships. That was
Yeah.
so cool. I
And,
really
like-
enjoyed in that game how your mount was your pet that followed you
Yes.
around, and you trained him, and then you hopped on him when you wanted to run fast.
Yes.
So such a good idea.
It had so many good things to it, and then people hit the end game and realized that NCSoft, if it was them, I do believe it was them, that NCSoft kind of went full, we want to make money on it, like greed mode. And they were selling stuff in the in-game shop that would give you edge in-game. Because of the way the crafting worked, they were selling stuff that basically augmented your crafting. So it gave you a higher chance to get the better stuff, which in turn, it was a very high chance to get the good stuff. So, yeah.
So they
and-
didn't directly sell it, but they basically sold it.
it was like, this augments it. It's not the gear, but all you really need is that, and then you can make the gear. So and people made, YouTube videos where it was like, they put on their paid gear, the gear that they paid for, and made, and then they went into an arena and like dominated somebody, and then they put on the gear that they were able to make, or that they were able to find in the game or make on their own, and they went into an arena and just got destroyed, like just to show the difference. And I mean, that game had so much potential, and I really want to see a game like that. Get rid of factions completely, so everybody you meet is like, oh, and I don't know, just break away from the mold and do a paid subscription. I'm fine with that. As long as you're not giving me microtransactions that are going to let somebody else be better than me for buying shit. I don't mind paying $15
I know
a
from
month
a lot
for a
of
fair
my
game.
friends, though, every time a new MMO comes out with a paid subscription, they're like, "Why are you doing it like this?" I'm like, "Well, it's better than the alternative."
yeah.
And they've got to make money monthly because they're paying
Exactly.
for so much hardware. I don't think people realize that, but what I would like to see in an MMO is like exploration focused, like a real Elder Scrolls MMO would be
Yeah.
fun. Even a real or a real Elder Scrolls multiplayer game would be fun. But
Yeah.
in the context of MMOs, it'd be cool to have all that crafting, all that ability to do whatever you want, and like they kind of did it well with the whole hybrid theme park thing, where you still had quests, you still had this overarching storyline that you had to go to, but.
Yeah, Arcades
Yeah, it
was
sucks.
very good until the end game, and it
I
was
feel a little bad though because I think they saw that I actually spent money on their store and they were like, "Oh shit, Adam, one of the guys who hates item malls, actually spent money on our store. We better ramp this shit up."
yeah, it's
That was my bad, guys. I fucked Arcade up for everyone.
It was just a very depressing downhill like fall there for Arcade because it was like such a different game than any of the others that I had played. So it was really nice. So I'd like to see a game like that come out and do it right this time.
So I know VR has been a topic in every single one of the podcasts that I have been in.
Yes.
But there's a good reason for it. You know, it's kind of coming out in a couple of weeks here, and it's a major turning point in gaming.
Yeah.
Not only gaming, just technology in general.
Yeah.
The shit we're going to be able to do. So GDC was this week, and it was pretty much mainly focused on VR because there's so many exciting things happening in this world. Oculus launch titles are announced. They actually said they have 30 launch titles.
Wow.
Which is impressive considering consoles didn't even come out with 30 launch titles. I think tiles, yeah. I got these sweet launch tiles. I can put them on my Xbox and make it all pretty.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think like Xbox had in the 20s somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But some of my favorite of the things that they showed was one called Adrift.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to spell it because it's silly.
ADR1FT.
Yeah.
So leet speak, bro.
That's going to get my money just because of that one.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So this game is basically Gravity, the movie, the game.
Oh,
Have you
where
guys seen
you're
it with
Sandra Bullock?
Yeah, because the trailer they showed is you in a spacesuit, and you're kind of just like floating around.
Legitimately just...
Yeah. So if you've ever wanted to be an astronaut floating around in space, like afraid your oxygen's going to run out, this is the game for you. I'm stoked for it because I really want to feel like when I take off that headset that I'm gasping for air.
What
Oh,
else?
it's so real.
Yeah.
Woo!
God. Sounds
Comes
like a
with,
very
like, one of
strange
those air
game.
breather attachments.
Yeah.
Like restrict your oxygen level.
Someone like
That'd be
comes
cool.
in and they're just like, "What are you doing, Adam?" Like pull the VR off. You're like, "Why would you do this to me? You have forsaken me."
So another game I'm looking at is Project Cars. It's another racing sim. This game looks like they're doing a real focus on velocity and speed because it's Project Cars is already out right now, so they're just building in the VR support, and it looks like they added in a lot of road noise information. So when you're going over bumps and stuff, you're actually gonna rock your head and shit. I don't know how they're doing it, but it like just it wiggles the camera or something.
Yeah.
And when you go under a tunnel, it looks like your character feels the force of the wind from the tunnel.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Because you're racing in mostly like Indy cars and stuff where your head is exposed.
Yeah.
The feeling of velocity and speed in this game looks unreal. Just in the trailer. I haven't actually used an Oculus Rift or anything yet.
Yeah.
So I'm stoked to be able to drive a car that I would never be able to afford in real life and see how fast I can run into a wall.
God, that'd be so scary in the VR.
Yeah.
Like, it might actually feel really real there.
I watched a playthrough of this guy who had modded Mirror's Edge to work with VR, and he was like legitimately freaking out when he was falling down buildings.
Yeah. That would feel so crazy real. Like,
It's like this big buff guy, and
Yeah.
he's like balancing on this tiny pole to get from building to building, and he slips off and he falls, and he's like, gets all high pitched, and he threw the headset off. and
what
he's like,
is that girl who cries on that video? He does that. Just starts falling. Exactly. So you keep saying velocity, and I'm sorry, it reminded me of something. I have to tell you this. I remember somebody was like somebody did like a read through of 50 Shades of Grey on YouTube, and there's a part where the author says that the girl gets in the elevator and it goes up to the top flight at terminal velocity or something like that. And like the YouTuber just stopped at that and was laughing so hard. It was like, it went up at terminal velocity? Does this author know anything? It was just like, it was just a really good, like, nobody could have said it better about how stupid that author was. Sorry. I had to say it though because you kept talking about velocity.
that would suck to be in an elevator that goes up at terminal velocity.
It goes up at the highest velocity that anything can fall. Like, wait, what? Ah! This makes no sense.
I don't know if I'm going up or down.
Exactly. The
Turns me
elevator
on,
just
though, so I
fired.
guess it's good writing.
Yeah, exactly. I just terminal velocity me in the bondage room, please. Oh my god.
All right, so another game coming out. Oculus Rift. With that nice transition. Eve Valkyrie, I think we talked about this before. It's
Yeah.
the cockpit space dogfighter, which looks awesome and insanely motion sickness inducing.
Yes.
I can't wait to just puke all over my computer.
Yes.
It's gonna be awesome. Another game is called Windlands, which, if you've ever played Spider-Man 2, this game takes the web slinging thing
No
and
shit.
puts it into a VR game.
Oh my god, dude. Spider-Man 2. I know Spider-Man 2 was your jam. It was my jam too. That game was
Fuck
so
yes.
much fun. Saving
I
all
love
those little
saving
kids'
those
balloons.
balloons.
Yeah! All those dumb little kids, man. Like, what was that?
God,
I
I think I
used
even
to-
tried to emulate it, but it doesn't run very well because that city's so big.
Oh, yeah, me too. I thought you meant you were trying to emulate the whole balloon thing. Like, you would go outside and let a balloon go and see if Spider-Man would come by.
Spider-Man,
Oh,
save
man.
my balloon!
It's like, I have better
Fuck
shit
that
to do.
woman's purse. Get my balloon, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. I used to take the bad guys and swing up to the top of buildings and then throw them off. It was like the closest you get to killing someone in that game. It was pretty hardcore.
That's awesome. Another game is Edge of Nowhere, which is pretty interesting because it's a third-person adventure game that's coming out specifically for the Rift.
Okay.
So you're controlling the camera, not your character, with
Okay.
the headset. So when you look
Uh-huh.
around, you can like look around your character, which is a really cool way to do it because you can't like stand up and actually pretend you're walking as your character. So why would you be in the character's head? you know?
Right. Yeah.
So a lot of things that they were focusing on is when you walk into a room, you can like look up and look around the whole room, and then your character is kind of like in the shot as well, and you can walk around as you're not even like focused on him,
Yeah.
which is a pretty cool way to do that because I think that's been a pretty hard thing to master is how do you get the camera to control naturally in a platformer that's three-dimensional.
Yeah. That's pretty
'Cause-
cool.
Yeah, I know that there's been a lot of games that have come out where you're just like super frustrated at the camera controls.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This solves that. There you
All
go.
the time. That's pretty
$800
awesome.
device to solve your one camera issue.
All right. I think that is going to finish up there for gaming news. That was a really long segment. Sorry. So we have I know what you were doing. Like, I didn't need you to do it more. It's fine. That's why I laughed. Like, because I got it. You know, I was just like, oh, I know what's going on here.
I figured.
I'm just gonna shove that in. That
I didn't
sound
remember
effect.
what I said last time, so I just left it at the horn.
It was right. That's it for Robbie's news or whatever. It was really
Oh,
good.
okay. Nice. Well, we'll edit that back in, right?
Yes, of course.
This has been Robbie's News.
Sick.
So up next is that gamer story of the week there.
Oh, yeah.
And I do believe you're the one who has the story this week, right, Adam?
I do. So I want to talk about my first VR experience.
Oh my god.
It was back in the 90s.
Oh man.
It was basically this really cheap. Like, do you remember the Taiga little football games? Like the little portable.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like you got two shitty ass buttons, and they were like,
Yeah.
So you basically had this giant headset that kind of flopped off, and this was basically the reason why I got into technology. So I was super young and impressionable, and my neighbor's dad had this, and
I was young and impressionable. My neighbor's dad touched me in a strange way. My heart,
gave me a
of course.
9-iron, and I just didn't know what to do with it.
He asked me to polish his 9-iron. I didn't know. I put on the headset.
You're making this innocent memory dirty, Robbie. Fuck you.
That's all I do. I'm sorry.
So it was basically like this super cheap golf game.
Uh-huh.
And it had a 9-iron tied to it. It didn't actually have motion controls, so it didn't matter. It just had buttons on the 9-iron that you could press when you actually swung.
God, that sounds annoying.
But it was sick. It was so futuristic. I felt like I was in Tron. I had no idea what Tron was.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I had seen that movie at this age.
Yeah, funny story. I've still never seen Tron. Like,
The new or the old one?
Yeah, I've always wondered if Tron. Like, a question in my head was always if Tron the game was a real thing before the movie, or which one spawned the other.
Oh, the movie came out way before the game.
Oh, okay, all right, interesting.
There's a really old version of Tron, like
Yeah.
1980 something,
Yeah.
and that movie is awesome. And then the newest one with Jeff Bridges and Olivia Wilde is less awesome, but it's got a really kick-ass soundtrack and
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges and Olivia Wilde. So
Yeah.
it's worth a view. It's worth a little peek-see. All right, so
I don't know what to say to that. I'm sorry.
oh, shit. Well, that wraps up my story of the week.
All right.
Kind of lost momentum there because we got disconnected.
We did. We had a little technical difficulty for a moment there.
Little hiccup.
Just a little hiccup there. Okay. So I don't know why I was talking to you like you're a dog. What are we going up to next, Adam?
So it looks like, well, we got to tell them about the email, right?
Oh, right, of course, yeah.
Jeez.
I just don't fucking care about our viewers.
We probably should. Just don't let them send anything in anymore. They've lost their privilege.
So, guys, remember to send stories to BthroughZpodcast@gmail.com. That's one of the many ways you can get a hold of us. We have Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Facebook is BthroughZ, YouTube is BthroughZ Official, and Twitter is BthroughZ_. So, not hard to find us.
We'll get back to you as soon as possible, too. We'll email
Most
you back and be
definitely.
like, that was a cool story. Can I make you fish sticks?
We'll just say, cool story, bro, every time.
Exactly.
That's
But
all we'll
also
say.
offer fish sticks because I feel like that's a nice thing to do for someone who contributed to our show.
I mean, what are you going to do? Mail them fish sticks? What if they don't live near
Yeah.
you?
It doesn't matter. I'll freeze them.
What? They're not going to stay frozen going through the mail.
Oh, fuck your logic.
They don't freeze mail. Strangely
Speaking of
enough.
Robbie's logic,
What?
I think Robbie's got a pretty hard logic going on right now with this indie boner, don't you, Robbie?
Oh, yeah. I see where you're going with that. My logic, I don't know. My boners have no logic behind them. So.
It just happened.
They're just like, oh,
I'm
what?
raging right now.
Yeah,
Like,
just, oops. Whoopsie. That was my
there goes
penis.
another keyboard.
Just smashes right through it. So anyways, yes. My indie boner of the week this week is a little game called Grim Dawn. It was in early access, and it was just another one of those games I was talking about earlier that I supported in early access that actually came through and turned out to be a really good game. It's It's one of those isometric Diablo dungeon crawler loot driven games, and it has a really cool skill system that's kind of comparable to another game like it called Titan Quest. If you've played it, then you would understand how the skill system works. But it has like this really dark atmosphere as well. Like, I mean, Diablo did as well, but this game kind of goes a path that I really like. It's based on the human race basically going extinct from like these evil creatures, and it has a lot of eldritch themes behind it. Do you know what I mean by that, Adam?
I do. No, I don't.
It's like unknown, like mystery, weird,
Enigmatic?
and just like, yes, exactly. Kind of.
Okay.
And it's very relatable to things that H.P. Lovecraft did. So a lot of its themes kind of go around that, which is really neat. There's another game that I like that it's like that I know I'm
Is
going
there
to
like
do for my
Cthulhu Easter egg in there or something?
No, but it's just like you look at it and you go, okay, this is definitely inspired by at least a little bit by H.P. Lovecraft.
Okay.
And it has, like I said, the unique skill tree, and I'll use that lightly because it uses a system that's known but just adds on to it a bit better. And
Okay.
it also has a very weird like ascendancy path skill tree thing to it as well. But it's just a really well made game. It's really solid for like an early access game. It's not early access anymore. It came out. And it's making me start to fall in love with those games again, and it makes me want to play Path of Exile again. But the reason I don't play Path of Exile is because I'm so scared of that build system. Like,
What's the build system?
have you ever played Path of Exile?
I didn't.
It has the most intense build system in the history of build systems.
Like
it's
building your class, or
yeah, because you choose a class, and then it gives you this like board of little things that you can select for your next skills. And I mean, it is fucking huge. And
So
you
you're
could
just sitting there reading, and then like,
Yeah.
ah, shit, wait, what did this one do?
yeah,
Come
and it's
back.
like, oh my god, it is so daunting and overwhelming when you look at it that it's just terrifying. But
God, that sounds like a fun weekender.
yeah, it's a really good game, and it's free to play, so it's very worth checking out on Steam.
Because they're really big, the creators of Path of Exile and then that new one, Tyranny, they're really big into making D&D style games, right?
I do not believe that Path of Exile is made by the same group as Tyranny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I think it's Grinding Gears. It makes Path of Exile, and Obsidian makes Tyranny.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you're all over the place. Pillars
Well,
Pillars of Eternity.
Pillars of Eternity.
I guess they're both POE, so that could throw you off.
That did throw me off.
But I will be playing Grim Dawn on my Twitch channel, so twitch.tv/Zilrog. And I've been playing it there, so you can check out the game there if you don't want to buy it yourself.
That was a pretty good indie boner there, Robbie.
Thank you. It gave me a very good indie boner. So moving on, I mean, we got the casual corner here. We talk about our the movies we're excited for, the TV shows we like, and the music that we like. So just kind of our opinions and how we feel about shit.
Grab a cup of coffee, sit tight, check out these.
Take a chill pill, bruh. Take a chill pill.
Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah, so I know we talked about that before, but I just kind of wanted to bring it up again because it comes out next Thursday. So it's very relevant right now. There are a lot more DC heroes getting put into this movie than I originally knew. I knew Aquaman was going to be in it and Wonder Woman. I almost said Wonder Man.
Oh, it's so wonderful.
Hello, I'm Wonder Man. But they're also having Cyborg and the Flash, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan is the actor who's going to be playing as Thomas Wayne, who is Batman's dad. And so that makes me think, okay, there's probably going to be some flashbacks or a slight origin story for Batman, which is something we don't need again, but whatever.
How long is this movie gonna be?
That's what I'm saying. There's so much in it. And there's also Barbara Gordon, who is Batgirl and later known as Oracle because she gets shot in the spinal cord by the Joker. So they have so many people in this movie, and it's just ridiculous.
Okay, so I originally said I wasn't gonna see this in theaters, but I think I have to now.
I'm definitely gonna see it in theaters, if nothing else, then because it's gonna be CGI porn. It's gonna have so much CGI.
Is it made by Snyder, just like
Actually, I have no idea.
Superman versus or the new
Man of
Superman
Steel?
movies? Yeah,
I have no idea.
I almost
But
said Superman versus Batman like it was the previous movie.
all I know is that this one doesn't look as like they did some weird shit with the color in the Man of Steel that made it look super bleak. So hopefully they don't do that in this one.
Yeah, the Instagram filtered it.
Yeah, exactly, all the way through.
I don't know. I'm kind of digging that Instagram filter. You know,
That
I feel like my
Insta-filter.
entire world is just Instagram filtered now.
Yeah, bruh. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, there's gonna be a lot of it, and it's still like I don't know how the hell they're gonna pack everybody in there.
I just hope Flash comes in and he just like ropes everyone up. He's like, "Stop fighting! we gotta make a world-saving league here."
I mean, it just seems
Of
like
justice.
there's maybe we could call it the League of Justice People. No, that's a horrible name. So it just seems like they're trying to like jumpstart the DC cinematic universe. Like, let's not do the movies that like no build up, just fucking yeah. Like
I kind of
Man
thought
of
they
Steel.
were gonna stick with. Sorry to interrupt. That
No,
like
it's
they were
fine.
gonna stick with the TV like series.
They're
Like,
not even
Marvel has the movies. Maybe we can take over the TV market.
the thing
but-
about their TV market is they're not even. That's not even going to be part of the cinematic universe. Like the Flash and the Green Arrow on CW right now, those TV shows
Yeah.
are not going to be.
Same actors.
Yeah, they're not going to use the same actors for the movies.
Oh,
And-
I'd be pissed if I was those guys.
I'm pissed because I love those guys. They're great actors for those characters.
Yeah, they do a good job. Barry
like-
Allen's pretty funny.
Yeah, and it's I don't know why they're doing that. Like Marvel does have a lot of TV shows, and all those TV shows coincide in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Daredevil is part of it. Jessica Jones is part of it. The Agents of Shield, Marvel's Agent Carter, all of those are all directly go along with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So
Well, except for one character, which is kind of like a DC Marvel back and forth. But Spider-Man,
oh well, fucking
he's kind
Spider-Man.
of going all over the place.
They're finally, I think Marvel's finally, well, I mean, I don't think, like, obviously that Captain America Civil War trailer came out where Spider-Man's like, hey guys, welcome to EB Games. After he jumps on the car.
Oh, hey guys!
Well, hey guys.
Did you see the poster they put out for Civil War?
No.
It's Iron Man and Captain America grabbing Spider-Man's arm.
What?
Both
Really?
at the same time. His one forearm, they're both grabbing it. It's like, oh, they
That's-
finally teamed up to break Spider-Man's arm.
Yeah, that
Glad they
sounds
found
really
a common
dumb.
enemy. Spider-Man's arm.
It's because Spider-Man takes Captain America's shield and then goes like on a rampage because he thinks he's indestructible. He tapes it to his back, so he's like Turtle Spider-Man.
And he
So even
can
if he
sled
falls,
down hills real fast
Yeah,
and make
exactly.
sparks.
Exactly, it's crazy. But I mean, okay, so
Spoderman.
speaking,
Sorry, I'm
Spoderman.
just reading your show notes here.
His name is Spoderman. It's what people call him. It's Spoderman. my whole thing about the Civil War though is it doesn't seem like the Civil War is gonna pan out to be multiple movies long, and like the whole series in the comics of the Civil War was like a pretty long thing. So like, and it was pretty detrimental to the Avengers because Captain America fucking dies in it. Like,
Oh, shit.
yeah, he gets shot by Crossbones, who was in the second Captain America movie. Remember in the second Captain America movie? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
When the thing crashes into the building, and then that one dude who is having a fist fight gets like totally burned up, and then at the end of the movie he's like getting pulled away on a stretcher.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
he's gonna be Crossbones, the villain. So, but yeah,
Why do
he-
these good guys just become villains all of a sudden?
I don't know, whatever. But like, I mean, the next Marvel movies in line are Doctor Strange, the next Guardian of the Galaxy, Spider-Man, Thor, Black Panther, and then the Avengers Infinity War, which will obviously not be a civil war. It's going to be them against Thanos. So how is this? I think the Civil War isn't necessarily going to be the war that they have, but a fight between the characters in just this movie, and then it's going to end at the end of this movie. Like I think it's going to be resolved all in one movie.
Up.
Yeah, and so I like that just seemed weird to me. Like I don't know if other people have caught on or seen that or think the same thing as me, but I feel like that's how it's going to turn out.
I hope in the next Avengers movie they actually do some more team fighting. Because in the last Avengers movie, which was good, it was fun, but the starting fight was the best fight in the whole movie.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Because they were using each other's abilities to help themselves and stuff. Like Thor hits Captain America's shield and sends a shockwave and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, God, I want to see more combo moves thrown into the movies.
Combos.
But instead they went combo breaker.
They speaking of good fights that you want to see, you want to know what I was watching this week?
Oh, I think I know. Is he wearing red tights?
Ooh, the reddest of tights. Fucking Daredevil, man.
Oh, shit.
Daredevil Season 2 just came out, and I watched all of Season 1 again, and then, goddamn, those fight scenes are so fucking cool. And then Season 2 starts up so strong with the Punisher, who's played by the same guy who played Shane in The Walking Dead, so he's a badass.
They wasted no time introducing this character.
For fucking real, though. Like me, okay. So Adam and I use this add-on on Chrome to watch movies together, and on Netflix. And we were watching Daredevil last night, and right off the bat, the Punisher's just murdering motherfuckers, like mowing them down, sticking them up on hooks. Just so much horrible shit. It's great. But yeah, so I mean, that's what I was watching this week. What were you watching this week?
Another superhero movie or TV show.
What
The
was
Flash.
it? Ooh,
Can we talk spoilers on this?
Spoilers of what? Like how far
The
in?
Flash, the season 1.
Season 1 spoilers, I think, should be fine. If people haven't watched Season 1, that's on them.
Yeah, they probably haven't made it this far in the podcast anyway, so.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Timelines. Time travel and timelines. How? Why?
Like, I'm trying to remember everything that happens in the end of Season 1. He, like, goes back in time, and then...
So, let me wrap it up for you, since it's fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
So, Barry Allen, the series starts out with him witnessing his mom dying, and there's all these crazy lights going around, and then his mom gets stabbed, and he gets transported out. So, what actually happened in the reveal is...
Dr. Wheelchair.
Dr. Wheelchair is a speedster.
Yes.
And Barry Allen's a speedster. And Barry Allen figures out a way to go back in time. And so does this other speedster. So apparently in the future, Dr. Wheelchair Man is Barry Allen's like nemesis.
Yes.
So I'm going to call him the Man in the Yellow Suit from now on. And I'm just going to use the Flash. Man in the Yellow Suit goes back in time because he's like, I'm just going to stop the Flash before he can even become the Flash.
Yes.
He goes back in time, and then Barry Allen follows him and stops Man in the Yellow Suit from killing younger Barry Allen.
Yes.
But
But can't stop him from killing his mom.
Can't stop him from killing his mom. So then now the Flash has dedicated himself to figuring out what happened to his mom and all that shit. So he finally figures it out, and he goes back in time third time or second time, I don't even know, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna stop this murder. And he doesn't even stop the murder because other Barry Allen says, no, don't do it. And then he's like, okay, I won't do it. I won't stop my mom dying.
Like,
and then,
just craziness.
and then you also find out that the Man in the Yellow Suit is also a descendant of Tharn.
Yeah.
The detective.
Because his name is Eobard Tharn. Tharn.
So the detective kills himself, which
Apparently,
my
he was
mind,
the most direct descendant. Like,
yeah, because if he dies, if Tharn dies, then the Yellow Man never existed because that bloodline stops
yeah,
with Tharn. So the man in the yellow suit never
the Reverse Flash.
the Reverse Flash never existed. So why is the storyline still continuing where it's at? I feel like that in itself would have changed everything.
Didn't that cause like a giant black hole or something?
I thought it caused a singularity because the black hole of Barry going it back in time.
Oh, I don't know. That's what happens when you start fucking with timelines. That's why you don't fuck with timelines. Like,
Okay, so I'm just gonna assume then that it was time trying to swallow this parallel universe up because so much change. It was just like, fuck it, we gotta quit. But then
Yeah.
Barry Allen stopped it. The Flash stopped it.
it's so. Yeah,
I was like, why? Okay.
it's all a mess. It's
If-
all a mess.
I feel like you guys could have done the Flash without doing time travel.
No, you can't. The Flash has so much time travel in his comics.
Oh, really?
So much time travel. There's a whole thing called the Flashpoint where he goes back in time to try to save his mom, and it completely changes the world. Like
So he actually goes through with it?
yeah, he follows through with it, saves his mom, and there's like Aquaman and Wonder Woman are warring factions, and the Green Lantern never becomes the Green Lantern. He's still a pilot, and the fucking France is flooded, and Deathstroke is a pirate captain that sails through France trying to look for his daughter, and like Bruce Wayne died instead of his dad and his mom. Bruce Wayne got shot, and so Thomas Wayne becomes Batman, but he shoots and kills people and is like an addict to alcohol. The whole thing is ridiculous. So the Flash needs his time travel to be the Flash, but god damn it, it is so ridiculous.
It is so ridiculous. But I get if that's how it's gonna be, then that's how it's gonna be because it is a fun series.
Yeah.
They have fun characters in it. Fucking what's the gadget guy's name?
I just lost it too.
Oh shit. The scientist team.
Yeah.
They're the best characters in any
they're
TV
great.
series. In any superhero series.
Yeah, it's really it's definitely a good show. But yeah.
So what are you listening to this week, Robbie?
This week I wanted to talk about a song that I found out of a couple months ago, and it actually, for all you Rick and Morty fans, you will actually know this song. You ever watch Rick and Morty, Adam?
I have, but I didn't recognize this song.
Have you watched all of season 2?
It was a while ago. So
Yeah,
probably,
it's at the end of one of the episodes, and it like I heard it and I was like, oh my goodness, I need to listen to this song. And I did a lot of radioing with that song, like on Spotify and Pandora. Found a lot of really other really good music. But the song is called "Do You Feel It" by Chaos, and it's like deceptively simple. And I can't say anything more about it. Just listen to it here.
Are you afraid of me now? Are you afraid of me now? Do you feel it? Do you feel it? Do you feel that I can see your soul? Do you feel it? Do you feel it? Do you feel the beat in your heart? I want it.
All right, so that was that. Like I said, very simple and just kind of a sad, somber tone, and I really like it.
Way to bring us down, Robbie.
I know, I just like ruined the whole podcast. Everybody's sad now. They're just gonna go home and kill themselves.
Do me a favor,
Yeah.
Robbie.
What favor would?
Nah, that's my song.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
you see what I did there?
You're so tricky.
Oh God, sorry, that was a terrible joke, and now it just confused everybody.
So, Adam, what song are you listening to?
Do Me a Favor by Arctic Monkeys.
Ooh, Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah, so check this little thing out. So this song starts out crazy on drums. Arctic Monkeys you probably know about him by now. Robbie, did you know about him before I?
Yeah, I have a couple of their songs on like my playlist and stuff. They're just really chill to listen to.
Yeah, they are. They're a lot of fun too. Every album kind of has its own feel to it. I love it. This song is just batshit crazy though. It starts out with such a good beat on the drums, and then you get the epic bass line coming in. Do 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 do. It's awesome. I love it.
Can you just do the whole song for us right now, a cappella?
God, I wish I could. I totally would too.
Do 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 do.
I hope I got that right. We're gonna listen to the song.
You
later.
got it off.
Fuck, wasn't right at all.
He was doing "Whip It" by Devo. What is this?
Dude, another thing I found out, I was
Yeah.
just browsing some forums, like I do.
Yeah, trolling porn.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the pornos had this background song. It was Jet Set Radio. It was
man.
It's like the soundtrack for Jet Set Radio. It's called jetset.live. It's a website that you can visit, and it's a DJ'd soundtrack with DJ Professor K. And oh my god, it's not the actual guy who did the voice acting for the game. At
Wait,
least not
so
the-
DJ Professor K is a character in the game or something?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Jet
okay.
Set Radio was this epic music-focused rollerblading graffiti game.
I remember the game a little bit, and it was so cool. Like,
Fucking cool. It was
Yeah.
the best Dreamcast game out of all the 10 Dreamcast games.
it came out on Xbox as well. Like later, it came out on Xbox One, I think. So
I think that was the sequel.
I'm sorry, not Xbox One.
Xbox One.
Oh,
Like
Uh-oh.
the Xbox
yeah,
Orig,
the original,
OG.
the OG Xbox. But yeah, it's a really cool game.
Fuck Microsoft and their names.
Who makes their third console the number one? What a dumb idea! Like
the Wii U.
Wii U.
I love Sony and their
Yeah.
PS4.
PlayStation,
PS3.
PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4.
The name is
Simple
just
as that.
exactly what you'd expect it
Yeah.
to be. It's a
Xbox,
PlayStation.
Xbox 360, Xbox One. Like, all right, why?
So yeah, give this a listen. They've got like remixed Beastie Boys and really good EDM music, and then you get DJ Professor K commenting in
That's
between
so
each
cool.
song. He's hilarious.
That's awesome. I'll definitely have to give that a look too, because I didn't even know about that. But so we are moving on to the final segment. Adam, do you know what that normally is? You should. I hope you know. You know what it is? It is Adam's Tickly Tech.
Ooh.
All up in your ear with some news about technology and shit. This is exactly.
We'll edit that out.
All right, Adam, hit us with some technology.
All right, VR.
Fuck! I'm out. You have fun.
So we got two new VR announcements. We got a VR headset coming from AMD. AMD announced this Monday. Well, yeah, like a Monday. I don't remember what day it
They
is.
announced something Monday.
It was a Monday ago.
It was one of those Mondays.
That they're doing a VR headset that is completely free of the PC requirement. So they're doing they call it an untethered headset because you just put it on and it's what it is. It's like the Gear VR where you slap your phone in and your phone's the computer. Well, this actually has a built-in computer to the head strap. So you got this cool little box that goes on the back of your head and that houses the computer. So they're touting it's completely tether-free with a high-quality display. But some questions I have about this, because they didn't really release any info, is how heavy it's going to be. And if it's pretty heavy, like that shit's going to be annoying.
It's
You're
just
not
gonna
be able
weigh
to-
your head down a ton.
Yeah. Like, how is that going to be fun? You're going to get tired of it after your neck is going to be so fucking sore.
Which is what everybody wants after playing VR. To be sore after playing video games.
Especially if you're going back and forth in those VR.
Doing some mirrors. Edge.
Anyways,
Oh, were you talking about something else?
doing some knee work over there. Because, you know, who knows
you
what
do.
VR is going to be meant for.
You do the female point of view when you watch
Oh,
that
yeah.
stuff. Oh, keep talking about your VR.
Another question I have is, how is it physically going to be powered? If it's completely tether free, it's going to have a battery, right? So is this going to be like a big ass battery? Are you going to get an hour's worth of gameplay out of it and then you're going to have to pull it off and charge it? I guess that solves the heavy predicament. Like, no one will ever get fatigued because you got to take it off and charge the battery.
every 1 hour you gotta stop and do that.
So
It's like a 12-volt battery from a car. Like you set it on the ground and apply the wires. You carry it around all the games. Your character has a suitcase just to like make it feel right.
So that's an interesting dilemma. And then they've also got price to worry about, because if it's going to be expensive, then what is the point? You're going to get a shallow experience because it's this tiny computer on the back of your head, and you're going to be spending the same amount of money, right?
Yeah. I'd assume that they'd make it cheaper, because if they don't, then it's going to get crushed.
So I'm thinking if it can come out with like a $700, $600 price point, maybe it would work. But I just feel like it's too early for this. You can't just throw out a prototype and expect people to buy it, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like
early access, so.
It's a good point. Steam's going to host the
Yeah.
AMD VR on their thing.
They're going to put it on
Also,
green
they
light.
named it something stupid.
What is it named?
Solon Q.
The hell is that? What the fuck is a Sulon Q?
Well, now you know. It's a untethered.
Where do they get these goddamn names? Like
Solon Q. At least it's original, I guess. It's not
I
like
guess so.
VR headset 2.
VR headset Q. I would name my VR headset just my
VR porn.
iBox. That's what I name it.
Oh, there you go.
Robbie's
Apple
virtual
route.
reality iBox.
The
just-
eyeglasses.
You just stick it on your face. All right, move on. Don't listen to me.
All right, so PlayStation VR
Ooh.
got Sony with their naming scheme of awesomeness now.
Thank you, Sony.
Seriously, you just know exactly what it is. PSVR. Oh, okay. It's the headset that goes with PlayStation. Gotcha. It gets a price point of $399, which is a way more consumer-friendly price.
Yeah, that's actually not that horrible.
Because if you have a PS4, it's only $400, which is what you were thinking you were going to spend on a headset back when Oculus was like, oh yeah, we'll keep it in the $350 price point.
Fucking liar!
Been fucking double the price.
God damn.
So this one is actually $399. You do have to buy the touch controllers and the PlayStation Eye though. So if you don't have those, you can bump it up to a $499 price point, which gets it all bundled in, which is actually pretty cheap.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think the PlayStation Eye alone is worth $60, $70.
I honestly don't know. I don't have one. I've never gotten it. I don't need an eyeball staring at me while I play my PlayStation.
You don't do those awesome old school games? You got to catch the bubbles and stuff? Do you remember that for
Yeah.
PlayStation 2?
Yes, I do actually. Like,
I
it
remember
just watches you
playing
and you're like, oh, this is so cool. I'm like a
I
fish in
remember
an
playing that
aquarium.
in Hollywood Video's Game Crazy store.
Oh my god, I remember that. I used to go down to Game Crazy all the time.
That place was epic.
Freaking Hollywood Video. Oh, Hollywood Video. You died too soon.
It's a story for another episode.
The good die young.
So, all right, that wraps it up for VR. Now we get to talk about some console tech releases that aren't VR for once, somehow. I don't know how that happened, but let's dive into it. Nintendo's NX console. We still don't have a release date or anything about it, but there was some leaks. There was a patent sketch floating around. And then it looks like kind of a mock-up, like Photoshop job, so it doesn't look real.
Yeah.
But it's a leaked photo that people are passing around that is basically a mock-up of the patent sketch. And this guy was like, oh, I've got a developer copy of the new console controller. And the controller is this like oblong egg-shaped thing that's all touchscreen on the face, except for where you put your thumbs, and there's two thumbsticks there.
What the fuck? God damn, Nintendo! Nintendo! Just make software. Stop.
But dude, you get right and left triggers, so you
On
get
your
some
weird
buttons.
dildo that you're going to be using as a controller. Fucking your butt plug NX controller.
So, I mean, do you like Nintendo's gimmicks? Because they came out with the
No.
Wii, and then they took it another step further with the Wii U, and now it's like they're taking the Wii U a step further, and instead of this big tablet, you've got this kind of like smaller, more form-friendly control that is all touchscreen. It's like, how is that going to be useful?
I mean, I appreciate their attempts at innovation, but like, just
It
no
just seems
anymore.
like it just seems like they've got a guy in there that's just making up shit as
Yeah.
he goes.
They're like, all right,
And-
what should be the next thing? What's the first thing that comes to your head? Oblong, touchscreen, L and R. All right, done. There you go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I mean, it is just leaks, so we can only take it with a grain of salt,
Right.
or whatever that phrase means.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah. Okay.
But it's an interesting thing to think about. Like, what if their next console is another huge gimmicky console? Is it gonna ruin Nintendo? Or I kind of like it because I like buying crazy, stupid tech things like
Yeah.
VR. And the Wii U is such a cool concept.
Yeah.
Especially when Nintendo develops for it, because they know exactly how to develop for it, because they've got the Mario games, the Nintendo Land, where you can play in Luigi's Mansion or something like that, where one person's the ghost and has to run
Yeah.
around and hide, and then the other people are using the TV and have to find the ghost.
Yeah, and that stuff was a lot of fun, but I don't know. Like, it's cool, but I feel like they could do stuff that's fun like that and still not be making consoles.
A
Like,
proprietary, like
yeah.
hard to develop, closed off console.
yeah,
So that's one
is,
thing
like,
that does suck. I've got like 10 games, and
it's
they're
like
all made by Nintendo.
5 graphics generations behind. Like,
Yeah.
it's just insane. Like, come on, guys. But I mean, it's like it could be cool, but I just don't think it is.
Speaking of graphics generations, that was a good pivot point there, Robbie.
Ooh,
I appreciate
yeah. Hey, no problem.
it. PS 4.5.
What the fuck,
According-
Sony? What the hell is that? This is PS 4.5.
Hey,
Tell
at
me.
least they're keeping with their naming scheme.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
So according to NeoGAF and Kotaku and stuff, developers are being informed of a new PlayStation 4 launch. They're saying it's like a stronger processor, stronger graphics card, which I guess is to run 4K and VR a little bit easier. But it's kind of weird because I don't think there's ever been a console that has updated mid lifespan. So
Yeah, I mean, PlayStation's always done, like, with PlayStation 3, they came out with a new version of the PlayStation 3 later. And then, like,
Well, yeah,
they did the
but
same
that was
thing
like-
with the PS2, but yeah, they didn't upgrade it, really, did
it was
they?
the same hardware, just in a different form factor, like smaller and stronger, as in the parts were made better.
Yeah. I don't know, that's kind of lame.
So, are we gonna move away from console generations? Do you think they're just gonna do an Apple
Oh,
release
no.
every 2 years?
If they do, like, I try to keep up with the consoles every once in a while. I've had a PlayStation 2, a 3, and now I have a 4. And I mean, they're fun because they have exclusive titles. And, you know, some of my friends just play those because, like, you know, computers can get expensive. But if they're going to do shit like that, I'm fucking out. I am done.
It's like I already got a PC that I upgrade every
Yeah,
3 years.
exactly.
I don't need to do this with a console as well.
Yeah, I really hope that's not the case.
Think of all the landfill waste. Just,
What is this? The Green Hour? What the fuck?
there's gonna be piles and piles of PlayStation 4s, and then
Oh my God.
4.5s, and then 4.75s,
Yeah.
and 4.8s.
And then maybe a 5. Nope, just kidding. 4.9. 4.9.9.2. Yeah. God. I really hope that's not the case.
I'm wondering, Robbie, since you've got a PS4, are you thinking of getting the PlayStation VR?
Well, not now if I have to get the fucking 4.5 to use it.
I don't think you have to get the 4.5 to use it. It's just gonna, because all the stuff they've been demoing with the PSVR
Uh-huh.
is gonna work with the current PlayStation 4.
Okay.
So you're not going to need it to play what they've got now. But
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, definitely. I'd love to look into it. I had a friend who went down to San Francisco and checked out the PS4 like little con that they did,
Oh.
and she got to see a lot of the VR stuff, and she was really talking it up. So it does seem pretty cool, and I would
That's
like
cool.
to look into it.
That's so cool that someone came out and actually did a middleman price, because that's one thing I was afraid of, was like, shit. They set this such a high entry barrier
Yeah.
that it's just going to be like this cool thing that people have for a year or so, and then it dies off because it's just too expensive.
Yeah, and I think it could be pretty cool. So I don't know. I'll look into it.
Gives me hope. That gives me hope.
I've
You're going to be a
lost all
VR
hope.
brother with me. Oh.
I have my Samsung Gear.
Do you really?
Yeah, I got the Gear because I got the S7.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Have you checked out any experiences with it yet?
No, I've not, but we're really stretching this time out, so I think we should say goodbye to people. Nobody gives a shit about my Samsung Gear.
I do. We'll talk about it in the afternoon.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, after party, let's go. All right. So that wraps it up for Tickly Tech, which means this show is a closing. You don't have to
Yeah.
go home, but you can't stay here.
Oh, Adam with these cheesy comments. Let's just wrap
I
it
just
up.
really like Green Day.
Whoa! Wait. Green Day didn't do that. Green Day did
Oh.
not make a song like that. You must have downloaded that off LimeWire when you were a kid.
Shut up. Wait,
All right.
who did that song?
Semisonic.
Oh, fuck.
Look at it. Closing time. Semisonic.
Right.
All right, so let's goodbye. Say goodbye to everybody. I am Zilrog.
And I am Adam.
Signing off. Thanks for listening, you dumbasses.
I have to get the last word in.
That's why I was saying you should say the one thing you're listening. You don't know whatever. We need to work on our
I was
outros.
going to, but then you just said it. Sorry, I was
Alright.
stretching it out. I was having fun with this episode.
Yeah, you were. It's all good. I
We
know.
are
the
at about an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I think there was like a 10-minute disconnect in there, right?
Definitely not 10 minutes, but we will be able to get a couple minutes off of it.
I don't know how time passes.
Yeah, it was like
I'm
probably
literally
a
late
minute.
to everything.
Me too, which sucks, but whatever. It's
I
420,
think
bro.
I figured this shit out by now that like 100 seconds gets
Adam.
to a minute.
Adam, it's 60 seconds, you fucking idiot.
But how many hours to a day? 60?
24!
Oh, fuck.
I know, time is weird though, if you really think about it. Oh, we sound like stoners. Time's weird, bruh.
No, we just have watched The Flash.